So, I'm making this mostly to make myself feel better in a sense that something I haven't been posting because of stuff that's been going on that I've sort of talked about at one point. The video right before this, I kind of talked about it, and that was one of the things that hit me hard in this time. And I guess I should start from the beginning. I guess I deal with things in an unhealthy way. I know that for sure. Very unhealthy to do things when people make me mad, I or sad or any emotion that's a negative one. I push it down and I put a smile on my face and I ignore it, right? And I just let it wash away. And with small things, that it works. It works, but some things, it's very unhealthy to do that. And 4 years ago, my grandmother passed away of breast cancer, and it was a very sudden thing because the doctor said that she was getting better, and she didn't. And so I mourned for a couple of days, but I had to go back to school. It was during the school year, and I had to go back to school, and I couldn't I couldn't be sad. That's not something I like to do. I like to be happy to the point where I annoy people, I guess. So I did the same thing I did with other things. I pushed down the sadness that I felt, and I put a smile on my face, and I moved forward. And I wasn't happy though, but I had tricked myself eventually after a while. I tricked myself into believing that I was fine when I wasn't, and I didn't realize it until very recently. And 1 year prior, almost a year, I count it as a year. My girlfriend, not really girlfriend, I wouldn't call her girlfriend. She someone I was involved with, who I did love. I fell in love with her, and I wanted everything with her, and she broke broke it off with me, and that threw me for a spiral. And I I'll admit I cried when she did, because I had never felt the way that I did for her with anyone else, and it was a very sudden thing that happened. When one moment I was happiest man in the world, and then in a matter of one sentence, not really a sentence, a statement, I I was sad. I was not myself. And the worst thing was that, as I said before, I wouldn't call her a girlfriend, because we didn't tell anyone. And so we were on the down low. We didn't tell anybody. We were together for a while, and I had no one to confide in to help me through this. So for 2 days, I suffered alone in an emotional pain, and my, I had to put on a smile for my parents, and that's something that now that I go back and think about it, it breaks my heart, because I should have told them, and I didn't. I just pretended everything was okay until 2 days later I had to tell someone, and I'm someone who doesn't trust people easily. I'm not one to confide in just anyone or a friend. It takes a while for me, and that girl was someone I trusted 100%, and she's the only one I confided in with my problems. And now she was quote unquote gone, and I had no one. And so, as I said, 2 days later, I eventually told the next person I trusted, who is a very good friend of mine, and I trust him a lot now, a lot more than I did before. And I trusted him, and I trusted another person, a person who I really do care about. He is a good friend of mine, but I really never told him anything that involved girls or anything like that, because he kind of sprouted his mouth about it every time. But I needed someone. I needed people there for me. I couldn't do this alone. And I told them, and I asked them to not say anything to anyone, and to this day they have not spoken about it unless I have talked to them first about it. And that's when they speak their mind about it, and I appreciate them a lot. Sorry, my dog. She's here. I guess she sensed I was kind of sad, I guess. I'm not sad. I'm not sad. Anyway, sorry. Moving on to the next point, which was recently, a couple months ago. A friend of mine, or whenever that last video was posted, honestly, I don't know. Could have been a month. Could have been a month and a half. I don't know exactly. I'm not good with timeline in that sense. But I lost a good friend of mine. I did something very, very stupid, and I cost us our friendship, and someone else started threatening me, someone that I don't know as well, but I know that that person exists. And so the combination of both really hit me hard, because I had lost a friend, different friend from the other two. The other two I'm very good friends with, and I can confide in them. But that other friend is someone that I slowly put on a higher pedestal of trust, I guess you could say. And I trusted them a lot more than I did anyone else. They became my new person that I went to when I had a problem. And then they left with good reason. They had to. And it was my fault. And all of that, I did the same thing I always did. I pushed things down, and then I put a smile on my face, and I continued on. But it got worse, because, like I said, I didn't have anyone to confide in, and I trusted, and I lost another person I trusted again. And in that short period of time, I just closed off, and I was also scared for my life, because the guy who was threatening me, I know of him, like I said, I don't know him enough to know if he's just talk or if he meant it. And so I went down in a spiral, and I don't want to say I fell into a depression, because depression is something I take very seriously when I hear about it, and I don't want to classify myself as that until I hear it from someone who knows what it feels like to go through it, or from a professional. So I'm not saying I went into a depression, but I went into something pretty close to that. And it got to the point where I couldn't fake it anymore, and my friends started noticing, my family started noticing, and I started beating myself up for weeks, and it got to the point, and as soon as it got to that one point, I stopped, and I went to my parents, and I'll admit I cried, and I let everything out, and I told them everything, and I couldn't keep with faking it anymore. And we dealt with the person that was threatening me, not in a bad way. I informed the school, and the school said, the school told me to take precautions, and I have been doing that, and everything has been being well with that. And so along with that, I started dealing with the other stuff that was bothering me, and slowly but surely I dealt with those. And in doing that, I am feeling happier, so much to the point where I am up to making videos again. I am ready to charge at life full of happiness, and I haven't felt this in a very long time. And there's so many people I have to thank for: my parents, my friends, specifically this one girl. But that's for a funny video, not for the sad video, because that's a whole video on its own. Story time with Henry. But I'm ready. I am really ready, and I have some videos already. I'm getting edited, and just saying my catchphrase, what is hip with them kid, that filled me with so much happiness, because I realized that this is something that I enjoy, and I can finally do it pure of heart. No faking, just real me. That's pretty amazing. Anyway, this video is getting a little bit too long. I hope you all, if you listened, I'm glad you did. But if you didn't, I don't know how you would heard, but you didn't, and I'm sorry for making a boring video, but I can promise that the next ones will be funnier, happier, lighthearted. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Hopefully you all enjoyed. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great life. I hope think about it this way: anything that brings you down is going to propel you into something greater. That's a quote from Green Arrow, I think. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.